Hi everyone, Shashank this side. I hope you all are doing well today and safe at home. So today I'm going to show you how one can implement an architecture where you want to handle traffic from AWS application load balancer implemented at account A, which is acting as our hub or gateway account, and route the traffic to account B, where we have all the customer servers present in the private subnets. Okay, so let me walk you through the diagram, the architectural flow basically, and then we will going to have a practical demo. So we have two accounts, account A and account B. Account A is your gateway or a hub account. Account B are basically production account where we have all the servers present in the private network. Now, in account A, we have a load balancer. This is application load balancer from AWS, and account A is communicable with account B with the help of transit gateway. Again, the communication part is already taken care in my previous video, so I'm going to have the same setup getting executed with this video as well. So it's already set up. I'm able to communicate from account A to account B. So if you're not aware of how to make that configuration, please do watch my previous video. I'll be sharing the link as well. That will give you a clear picture how you can use transit gateway when it comes to the multi-deployment account model. Also, when it comes to communication within an account, different region, you can use another video. It's a whole series that I have created on transit gateway networks on AWS, so please go through that as well if you're not aware of the network concept from AWS. Okay, so as I said, both accounts are communicable with each other, and with this particular video, what we have to do as a job, so we have private subnets, and private subnets has to be communicated or shared with account A to make our application load balancer working. So for that, what I have done, I have again used resource access manager from AWS, where with the help of RAM, AWS RAM, I am going to share my private subnets to account A, and we will be provisioning all our target groups with the help of these private subnets. So that's simple how it is. So all the traffic when it comes from the internet to account A, application load balancer will route the traffic based upon the target group and the rules that what we have defined in our listener. It will route the traffic to account B. So one of the major point that comes into our mind is like why we want to adopt this architecture when it comes to multi-account deployment model. So first and the important thing is it's quite secure. You will be securing all your application infrastructure, network infrastructure from outside world, which is something everybody is looking for. Plus, this is quite cost effective and fault tolerant, and there will be no impact on your high availability system as well. So I see all these points as a benefit when it comes to multi-account deployment model within AWS. Okay, so let's jump to our AWS Management Console. I'll show you what is already completed and what we have to do. So this is my account A. I have two servers. So I'm considering this account as my hub or gateway account. So again, it's the same old Jenkins server, and I have a private server as well in a private subnet. Second, if we go to VPC, I have transit gateway already created. So these are two transit gateway. So I have created transit gateway attachment within Oregon in account A, and this is the shared transit gateway attachment from account B. So if we go to resource access manager, I have one transit gateway which is active. This is the one that I have shared with account B. Okay, if I go to account B, so there is another EC2 instance in account B, and we have RAM console. If you click on resource shared, there is a transit gateway from account A, and if we go to VPC, it's the same VPC 10.2.0.0.16, same subnet, and if you go to our transit gateway, this is the shared and this is the account owner ID. Now I have created an attachment which is West B, and this one is present in our default route of account A. Again, all the setup has been done with my previous video, so please go through that to get clear understanding. The next part, I have two instances. One is 10109, which is my account A acting as a hub or gateway. So if I go ahead and ping account B, which is 10.20.5, I'll be able to see the response. Okay. The same scenario, if we go to account B and try to ping account A. So 10.10.44 is the private server that I have provisioned in account A. So let's go to account A. I'll show you real quick. This is private server, no public subnet, 10.10.44. The same can be done in second account as well. So if we go ahead and ping this, I'm getting a response as well. Okay, so these are the prerequisite that I have already done as part of this video. The next part is we have to share the subnet of account B, which is acting as our spoke account or a child account where all our private network servers are going to reside. So for that, let's go to account B in Resource Access Manager console and create a resource share. We will give this name as subnet share, and we have two subnets. Let's select that. Give the account ID of account A because we are going to share from account B to account A. Create a resource. Now this has been shared active. Let's go back to account A. In VPC section, you can see like we have been shared with our VPC as well. Now VPC is local to this account. Okay. The next part, let's go to EC2 instance dashboard and create our load balancer. Click on load balancer on the left, create load balancer, application load balancer, internet. Then we have to select the VPC of account B because all the load balancer will be routing the traffic to account B, and if you don't select this, you will not be able to see the options of the target group where all the servers are getting listed which are private in nature from this account. So let's select that. We'll go with two subnets that we have been shared with. Security. Now you can handle the security from here itself. I have few security groups, so let's go with LB. We will see what is that exactly. Test. Now here we have certain options to go with on the target group side. Either you want to select a target type as an instance, IP and Lambda function. I'm going to create a blank target group. Reason being, I just want to show you what are these options meant for. So let's click on next, next and create. This will be going to create our application load balancer which is public in nature. Now let's go to target group. Okay. Create target group. Here are three options are meant for. If you select an instance, this will work only within your VPC, specific to VPC. But if you select an IP address, this will support the sharing of subnets and you will be able to see the IP address of other instance, or you can use the IP address of account B and Lambda function. So I'm going to use IP address. Let's give this name as internet target group. Port 80 is fine. Here you have to select VPC. So this is our VPC of account B. I'm going with port 80. Click next. Now here you have to enter the IP address of an instance, which is, let's go to our account and grab the IP address, which is our private IP address. Select, paste, include and create a target group. Okay, so we have a target group. If you see the status, target group is not configured to receive a traffic from load balancer side. Again, if I go ahead and hit this, I'll see response from Apache. Okay, so the same response I need to see from our load balancer that we have configured. So let's go to our load balancer. It's still provisioning. So what we can do, go to the listener section, view and edit the rule, click plus, insert a rule. Now here we have certain options. So for example, if you have already a host header like abc.com or intel.com, mcafee.com, kind of that, you can use host header of that value and route the traffic to your target group. I don't have a host header for now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use source IP, which is from all over the world, 0/0, that's the CIDR range, add and forward to internet target group. Save it, go back to the rule. It's still provisioning. Now if we go to the target group, target registration in progress. So once we have created a rule within application load balancer, it start associating our target. Okay. Now we have to wait for our load balancer to become active. So this is active now, but the target group is still in initializing phase. So if I go ahead and hit the DNS, I might see 503 or something. Oh, wow. So I'm able to see the response from our application load balancer, which is public in nature, and all our resources, the servers, are residing in account B. So all the traffic that we are grabbing from internet, it's routing the traffic to our private servers. Okay, so one thing I need to check is the security group. So let's go to security group, and you have to make sure that your instance listen on port 80 as well. Otherwise, this will not going to work for you. Okay, so the response is like 88, 80 and 80 from IPv4 and IPv6. So that's why we are able to listen. Now, if I go to our instance security group, you can see like 80 is open from all over the world. What if I remove 80 from all over the world? Will I be able to see the response? Probably not, because instance is not listening on that particular port. So let's save this rule, hit the URL again. Now this will be going to timeout or page cannot be displayed response because our instance is not listening on the port. So basically the handshake is not happening. It's a 504 gateway timeout. So that is something we have to make sure. The security group, which is an instance level firewall, has to be listening on particular port on which we want to have our application running altogether. Okay, so we are able to achieve our architectural diagram where we have application load balancer implemented at gateway or hub level, taking all the resources from our spoke account, and we are able to route the traffic from gateway to our spoke account. So I hope this clears a lot on how to route a traffic with AWS application load balancer from account A to account B. Just try it out on your account, guys, and trust me, this is one of the secure way that most of the companies are working with when it comes to a multi-account deployment model. And this is fault tolerant, highly available in nature, and very secure in nature. That's what most of the company wants, and cost effective as well. So just try it out, place out a comment in comment section if you're facing any issue. I'll be there to help you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.